Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the second game of the series between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Orix Buffaloes. Last night, it was a 5-2 Buffalo victory over the Golden Eagles, which knocked them a game further back of the Chibolote Marines, as they now find themselves 2 games adrift in fourth place. Tonight, we're going to give you the starting lineups, first of all, for the visitors from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and playing in right field is number 61, Tokumasu Chano. Batting second and playing third base is number 5, Masahiro Nishino. Hitting third at second base is number 31, Ryo Oda. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting fifth at shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Batting in the sixth spot and in left field is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. Hitting seventh and playing first base, number 40, Leandro Cedeno. Batting eighth in center field is number 0, Haruto Watanabe. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And they are going to be facing Ryota Takanaka, who takes to the hill for the Buffaloes. He was 3-5 on the year. He's worked 60 innings. He's allowed 58 hits, 30 runs, 27 have been earned. He's walked 13 and struck out 21, and the right-hander has an ERA of 4.05. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Osaka. Now your starting lineup for the hometown Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Leading off in right field is number 51, Yuya Ogo. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 66, Atsuki Moribayashi. Batting in the 3 spot and in center field is number 8, Ryosuke Tatsumi. And the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 3, Hideto Asamura. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 55, Yuma Yosuda. Batting sixth in left field is number 39, Yukiya Ito. Hitting seventh at first base is number 7, Daichi Suzuki. Batting eighth at second base is number 0, Hiroto Kobakata. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 70, Tsuyoshi Ishihara. And they're going to be facing Hiroya Miyagi, who has struggled this year, but he is one of the best left-handers in all the game in Japan. He has a 5-9 record. He's worked 128 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 105 hits, 30 runs, 29 have been earned. He's walked 21 and struck out 132, and he's got a 2.03 ERA. Our friend Jimmy at Redbeard Breaks in the house tonight. We welcome you. Jimmy says, "Let's go Buffaloes." And we are ready to begin as Takanaka has completed his warm-up tosses, as it is going to be Chano, Nishino, and Oda to get things going here in inning number 1. The first pitch of the ball game from Takanaka is on the way. It is a fastball that just misses low for ball 1. The count is 1-0 at 1:01 local time, or 13:01. As the fastball swung on, it is fouled away right into the catcher, and just like that, the catcher Ishihara has got himself a bit of a knock, as he's going to have to gingerly get himself up. He gets himself a new ball, and we're ready to go again. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, as it is a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped over to third, fielded by the third baseman Asamura, and he throws it on one hop to Suzuki, who makes the play, and that's going to be a ground out 5-3 to start the ball game. So 1 Buffalo up and 1 Buffalo away, and that'll bring up Masahiro Nishino. Defensively tonight for the Golden Eagles, from left to right field, it is pretty much the same lineup as they had last night, barring the catcher, as it'll be Ito in left. The center fielder is Tatsumi, and in right field it is Ogo. Around the horn from first to third, Suzuki at first, the second baseman Kobakata at short, and the third baseman Asamura, with the battery of Takanaka and Ishihara tonight. First pitch was a fastball taken under the hands for a called strike, and now there's a fastball delivered, and it's swung on and sliced foul down the left field line, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Nishino. Nishino getting the start at third base tonight, hitting .297, 1 homer and 13 runs driven in on the year. He has been getting some regular playing time, as Yuma Mune has probably been shelved for the rest of the year. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And Nishino is aboard with a single. And that is the first runner of the ball game here, as the Buffaloes have the runner at first with 1 gone. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. And for Oda, he strides to the plate, batting .284. He's got 6 homers and 40 runs batted in. hit his 6th homer of the season last night as he hit a laser down the right field line that just stayed fair. As he stands in here waiting on the first offering from the right-hander Takanaka, who kicks and fires. There was a fastball swung on and missed. That pitch was at 89 miles an hour on the gun, so no balls and 1 strike to Oda. We do welcome everybody who does listen live or on delay. We had quite a festive audience in last night's game, a bit of a late arriving crowd, and we would expect something to be similar tonight. As that fastball is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Oda. I say that because sometimes when we look at the MMA or the mixed martial arts, you have to take a look at what their schedule has. And when they have a scheduled fight, usually brings the people to the yard a little late. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2 on Oda. As we peek in at the mixed martial arts fights, doesn't look like there's anything really serious. Now, next week's a different story. It looks like they've got some different stuff that's going on around the world. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped over the head of the pitcher. He tries to field it with his back to the catcher. And Takanaka, rather than letting the shortstop Murray Biashi come and get it, he's not able to make the play. I think they're probably going to rule that as a base hit. I'll have to wait and see what the official score says, but I would have to ring it up as a base hit. The ball was hit. I think it might have been right off the plate or in front of it. And it got over the head of the pitcher, who had to go up and down the mound with his back to the catcher to try to field it, but unable to make the play. And that's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone. It'll bring up the designated hitter, Tomoya Mori. Well, for Mori on the season, he's hitting .281. He's got 9 homers and 46 runs driven in. As Mori digs himself in, waiting here on the first offering from Takanaka. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball swung on, and it is lined just foul down the third baseline. The third base coach just had to get out of the way. So no balls and 1 strike here to Mori. That'll keep you regular if you're having to dodge that. So no balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting designated hitter of the Buffaloes. Right-hander holds set. Now here's the pitch. Pitch is a split-figure pitch. It misses down and in, and the count now goes to 1-1. Big game for the Eagles tonight. As we have been talking, the big thing is that they trail the Marines by a couple of games. They do have 3 games in hand. And they will come in handy, but you got to be able to maintain their difference here. Here comes the one pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. And certainly the Marines beat up on the Saitama Cebu Lions last night, and they're looking to do more of the same tonight. We look at the standings in the Pacific League. The Marines are holding that 2-game advantage. They've got 5 games left in their season, though they do have a couple of games coming up against the Golden Eagles where the Eagles can make some ground. Eagles, including tonight, have 8 games left. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the third base line, and the count's now 2-2 to Mori. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last night, the Giants made it official as they have taken the top spot in the Central League. They blew out the Carp last night. Tomoyuki Sagano, 15-3 on the season. It is vintage Sagano. He is pitching really well, is the veteran right-hander. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 3-2 to Mori. Takanaka slows himself down, ready to go back to work again as he rubs up the baseball. Mori digs in here, rests his bat on his shoulder, and ready to get the next offering from the right-hander. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Maury's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. We will keep everybody up to date on the out-of-town scoreboard throughout the night, as we will be scoreboard watching. That game between the Lions and the Marines' specific interest, that'll go off in less than an hour's time. The game at Escon Field between the Fighters and the Hawks is already 1-0 for Fukuoka, and that one, that's in the top of the first inning. In another less than an hour's time, the Carp and the Dragons will go head-to-head. And then it'll be the other games in the Central will go off a little bit later. There's a ground ball over to short. Moribayashi fields it on one knee. He throws it to Kobakata at second. That is going to retire Oda for the third out of the inning. And that will be a fielder's choice that is going to end it here. That's 6-4 in the books. And that will do it here for the first half of the inning. No runs in the inning, a couple of hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. The Eagles get out of that one there. Your score is the Buffaloes 0. The Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging out here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the first inning, and our friend Troy is in the house tonight. We welcome you back into the mix. It is going to be Yuya Ogo, Itsuki Moribayashi, and Ryosuke Tatsumi to get things going here in the bottom of inning number 1. To answer Troy's question, yeah, we did get a chance to make the journey, and we're back in early September. As it was another fine event. We're already planning the next one is we're probably going to do Korea next year with a stop off in Japan on the way back. As the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Yuya Ogo. Ogo batting .258 on the year. He's got 7 homers and 47 runs batted in. Batting from the left side against the lefty Miyagi, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. We've been talking about it over the last little bit as we've been calling a number of games. It was a complete success. Yet again, the opportunity to go to the land of the rising sun. As that breaking ball misses down and away, the count is 1-2. Of course, there was a typhoon we were having to have to avoid a little bit, as a good thing we didn't go west this time, as we had spent most of our time in the Tokyo area. The typhoon had struck near Osaka. There was a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Yuya Ogo trying to get things going here for the Eagles in inning number 1. It was that game at Chiba that we were at in late August, and the rain had opened up. Oh, my goodness. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over, and underneath it is Watanabe. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Ogo for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Itsuki Moribayashi. We also got our friend Eloy Perez in the house tonight. We welcome you from Monterrey, Mexico. Buenas tardes, I think, is how they would say it, or how you would probably say it. Maybe not how I would enunciate it. But we appreciate you for being here. Siki Maribayashi stepping to the plate, hitting 243. Takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So yeah, it was pretty interesting, Troy, at the game between Chiba and the Lions as the fastball misses up and in, and the count goes to 1-1. Literally, they played the last 2 innings in pouring rain. And when it was our turn when the game was done and we were going to leave the stadium, literally people waited about a half hour till the rain dissipated. So there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So Eli says over there it's 10:13, so it'd be buenas noches. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes now to 3-1 on Maribayashi. We had a big crowd in here last night. I think we had about almost 30 people in the stream at one time. And it's really picked up between these two teams. The gamblers really poured in the back half of the ball game. That was kind of cool to see as the 3-1 on the way. It's a slow breaking ball that misses way outside. And Maribayashi's aboard with a 1-out walk. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. And for Tatsumi on the season, he's hitting 293, 7 homers and 56 runs batted in. Batting from the left side against the veteran left-hander Miyagi. I say veteran now because Miyagi's been around for a few seasons. It's going to be the first time in 4 seasons that Miyagi is not going to get a double-digit win season, as this may be his last or possibly second last start of the year. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Tatsumi. Tatsumi digs himself back in. Miyagi ready to go again. That was kind of strange there as that pitch is taken for a ball. We have I don't want to say it's not our Google or Amazon or whatever else it might be, but we ended up getting one of our AI help pieces pop up. There's a fastball. It's taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Tatsumi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eagles have a runner at first with 1 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Buffalo's threatened in their half, couldn't come up with anything. As the lefty Miyagi works to the belt, here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down and away. The count now goes to 2-2. As our friend Troy was asking, or as we're back, we're able to knock off a couple of stadiums we never got to the first time, Troy. We got to Chiba, as well as the Jingu Stadium, home of the Swallows. Really impressed with the Chiba Lotte Marine Stadium. I'd say probably that's my second favorite in Japan. There's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Tatsumi's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Hideto Asamura. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, from left to right field, it'll be Nishikawa in left. The center fielder is Watanabe. In right field, it is Chano. Around the horn from first to third, you've got Cedeno at first, Oda at second, the shortstop Kobayashi, and Nishino at third, with the battery of Miyagi and Wakatsuki. As Miyagi throws over to first base, and getting back easily is the runner Maribayashi. Samura, who's batting .251 on the year, 14 homers and 57 RBIs. His 14 home runs leads the Golden Eagles as he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Eagles really need a couple of thumpers in the middle of the order to go along with Asamura. They had Hiroshi Shimouchi, but really his game had fallen off a lot last year to the point where this year it's non-existent. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-2, and I really liked Shimouchi. Had a really professional approach at the plate. It would battle, but sometimes, like fine wine, you age, and sometimes you have to move on, and that's kind of where I believe that veteran player is going to have to go, as the fastball that comes low and in, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Asamura. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miyagi working himself to the belt, checks that runner at first. Here comes the 1-2. As it's on its way, it is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2 to Asamura. Now, I got to take a look at my posts coming up here. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to be on the airwaves next. We are going to be doing some games this week. I was hoping maybe to do one tomorrow night, but the games are all at 2 o'clock Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern. I got to make sure I'm heading out of Dodge here in the wee hours of the morning on Monday morning. So I don't think I'm going to be able to catch a ball game that night. There's a breaking ball that's down. A good stop by the catcher, Wakatsuki. There's 2-2. But we will be back on the airwaves for more games toward the later of the week. So if you are around, be sure to check it out and pop in and see us when you can. We'll put up our schedule as quickly as we possibly can. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Asamura. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball that just misses outside. Count now goes to 3-2 on Asamura. When you get the overhead view, you can see it was a good call by the plate umpire as that pitch had run along the white line of the left-handed batter's box. So here comes the 3-2. As the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left center field. Coming hard is Watanabe. He's not going to get there. It's going to drop in. And rounding second and heading to third is Murray Biashi as they go first to third here to the Eagles. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuma Yasuda. So now the Eagles are doing their part to threaten here in their first inning. As both teams had runners in scoring position so far, but we'll see if the Eagles will be able to cash in. And for Yuma Yasuda, he is hitting .304, 2 homers, and 9 runs batted in. As we said the other night, he is very aggressive, especially early in the count. So all eyes on Yuma Yasuda here. So left-hander against the left-hander. Miyagi gets his sign as he works himself to the belt. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count is 1-0 to Yasuda. As I said, Yasuda getting regular playing time in the lineup here over the last couple of weeks. And the thing that we have noted here is that as he's getting the regular playing time and making the most of it, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-1. He's getting a lot of opportunity here to showcase his worth. I'm curious to see if this is kind of the lineup, not only as they're fighting for the playoffs, if this is what the lineup is going to start to look like more and more for next season. As the lefty Miyagi delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses low, and the count now goes to 2-1. Players that have been getting some playing time, Yukiya Ito, Yasuda, not in the lineup tonight. Watanabe, he got the night off as he was playing the last night's game at first base. As the lefty holds set, Miyagi now kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul, and the count now is even at 2-2. So definitely interested to see what the Eagles have plans for going forward. They're going to have to figure out some pitching, though, if they're going to do some damage in the Pacific League. I just don't think they have enough arms. They don't have enough bullpen. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the lefty Miyagi holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to second. Fielded neatly by Oda. He throws to first. And that is going to do it. It's a ground out 4-3. So just like the Buffaloes, the Eagles threatened in their half of the first, but come away with nothing. There was no runs. There was a hit, no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes nothing, the Eagles nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We're moving to inning number 2. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Takanaka has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to resume the action. Coming to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the second will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Nishikawa, Cedeno, and Watanabe, to get things going here in the top half of inning number 2. It is melon cola tonight, or melon soda is what we are drinking, and as part of our ball game here, as the breaking ball misses outside, the count is 1-0. Kind of got hooked on it in Japan. There was a melon cream soda. It was really, really good. Refreshing, as there's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-1 to Nishikawa. Get to try some different type of drinks, as the Asahi Brewery is famous for not just its beer, but other stuff. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to second. Fielded by Kobakata. He throws to first, and Nishikawa's gone on a ground out, 4-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Well, for Cedeno, he's hitting .248 on the season. He's got 13 homers and 32 runs batted in. The right-handed hitting first baseman of the Buffaloes. He got the start in last night's ball game. He had reached on an error. He'd walked and had a hit before he exited for defensive purposes. As that first pitch breaking ball misses down and away, and it gets away from the catcher, Yasuda. Our friend Kenny Weaver in the house tonight. We welcome you for being here. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Lifted into deep right center field. Giving chase is the center fielder, Tatsumi. It's going to get down. Digging around first and heading into second. And the throw is not going to get there in time, as Cedeno has slid into second base safely with a double. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Haruto Watanabe. A little bit of a slow start in here tonight, Kenny. We had a big crowd in last night's affair. We had, like I said, almost 30 people toward the end of the stream. We've had a few people pop in, say hello, but nobody has really stuck it out here yet. But we're glad that you're here, as we had people probably jumping in on the Twitch side as well. So Cedeno is the runner at second base. And stepping to bat here is Haruto Watanabe. Watanabe had an RBI in last night's game as he safety squeezed a run home. He's batting 158 on the year with no homers and 3 runs batted in. And the first pitch is a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Saying about the Buffaloes and just the ever-changing lineup that they've been producing this year. It's been more consistent in the last week or so that we've been following them, but their season is pretty much over, as they can't make the playoffs. This is what we call playing out the string, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Kenny says, how are we doing tonight? We're doing great. It's been a nice night here tonight. Getting in the saddle to do the game here and hopefully watch some good baseball. As we said, we had a crowd last night that popped in around 10 o'clock and didn't want to leave. Probably could have called another couple of games. They probably would have all stayed with us. Fastball misses down. It's now 1-2 to Watanabe. Getting ready for the MLB playoffs, as well as the Japan playoffs. Japan playoffs are still about 10 to 12 days away. As the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's slashed foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2 to Watanabe. Might have to get the throw lozengers out tonight. Might be one of those nights that we're going to be a little bit raspy, a little bit early. So Watanabe redigs himself back in and ready to wait on the offering here from Takanaka. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side. Fielded neatly by the first baseman, Suzuki, who underhand tosses it to the pitcher covering. That's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1. And it is going to advance Cedeno over to third, and that'll bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, for Wakatsuki, he's batting 192 on the year. He's got a couple homers and 13 RBIs. Wakatsuki had a RBI in last night's ball game. We're talking about the production of the bottom third of the order in the game. As the right-handed hitter stands in, and here comes the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. Right-hander against the right-hander. Takanaka gets his sign from Ishihara and now deals. Fastball again taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. I was saying about the bottom third of the batting order last night really doing their job as they were able to be very productive for the Buffaloes. Watanabe had an RBI, Cedeno, Wakatsuki. As there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Not only tonight are we looking forward to this, but we talked about possibly doing a doubleheader, but I'm just not sure that's going to come to fruition tonight or not. This game here seemed to take forever last night. As the 0-2 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to the catcher of the Buffaloes. Again, Takanaka working himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball again, swung on, and this one's knifed into the seats over on the first base side. And the battle continues with Wakatsuki. I was telling the story in the stream last night about Masaya Yano of the Hiroshima Carp earlier in the week having a 22-pitch at bat. He started the at bat 0 for 2. And then what he did is he ended up battling away and battling away and battling away. After 22 pitches, he earned himself a walk. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So if my math was correct, he had fouled off 17 pitches in that, or 16 pitches in that at bat before earning the walk. So no balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Wakatsuki. As the right-hander works himself to the set position again. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Takanaka kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down in it, and the count goes to 1-2. Major League Baseball, when we talked about this last night, the record in Major League Baseball was a 21-pitch at bat from Brandon Belt when he was with the San Francisco Giants. If I remember correctly, that result ended up in and out. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line into the seats, and the count remains at 1-2 to Wakatsuki. So this looks like it is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to the catcher of the Buffaloes. We're here at the top of the second inning. It is 0-0 between these two ball clubs. They are threatening it again of the Buffaloes. They get the runner at third and 2 gone. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that's missing down. A good stop there by the catcher Yasuda. Or check that, Ishihara. Yasuda is the DH tonight. Ishihara earning his money here tonight. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to deliver again as he gets the sign from his catcher. He checks the runner at third, and here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, another one lifted foul down the right field line. And this battle is going to continue. So we're already into double-digit pitches here in the at-bat. And what does that tell me sometimes about pitchers is that maybe their stuff isn't that great. They don't have a lot of movement, not a lot of cut. And they end up where they're in that spot here and just don't have something to put the hitter away. They don't have a little bit of run. They don't have a little bit of cut on the ball. Here's the 2-2 offering. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Fielding it is Asa Murray. Does a full 360. Throws to first. And that is going to do it as Wakatsuki's going to be gone on a ground out 5-3 for out number 3. And that will do it here in the second for the Buffaloes. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There were no errors and one runner stranded aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the second, we're locked at zeros. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters to come to bat here for the Eagles in the bottom half of inning number 2. Lots of traffic on the base paths, but nothing to show for it for either team tonight. As it is no runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Buffaloes. 0-1 and 0 for the Eagles. Yuki Ito will step in to be the first hitter here in the second inning to face Miyagi. As he gets himself dug in and ready to go, Miyagi facing the lefty here for the first time tonight, delivers a fastball for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Ito hitting .284 on the year, a couple of homers and 10 runs batted in. As he's hitting from the right side against the left-handed throwing Miyagi. Bit of an overcast day in Tohoku as there's a breaking ball that misses down and the count goes to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander against the right-hander. Miyagi gets his sign. He works quickly. He delivers a fastball that swung on and is just grounded foul down the first base line. That is going to run the count to 1-2 on Ito. We get a look at the replay there, and he'd struck it. It was about maybe 2 feet to the right of the foul line. As the ball had been grounded foul. Sometimes they take some weird hops. As the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball missing down and in, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ito. And the right-hander Miyagi getting his sign from his catcher and works himself to the belt. He kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into right center field. Coming over underneath it is the right fielder Chano, and he's going to make the grab as he is going to retire Ito for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. I'll bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Well, for Suzuki, he is hitting 261 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 40 runs driven in. Pretty much for the Eagles, their lineup is the same tonight, with the exception of Ishihara, as Yasuda was behind the plate last night. And we mentioned Watanabe was in the lineup. But what I find interesting is they've dropped a lot of the left-handed sticks in Suzuki and Kopakata down to the bottom part of the order. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. That, of course, is with the lefty Miyagi on the hill. Suzuki has asked for time, and he nods to the pitcher as he felt that he was working a little quickly. There's a breaking ball swung on, his grounded softly over to first. Fielded neatly by Cedeno. He's going to take it himself as he steps on the bag. Suzuki's going to be gone on a ground out to 3 for the second out of the inning. It'll leave it up to the second baseman, Hiroto Kobakata. Well, for Kobakata, he enters the game tonight in 232. He's got 3 homers and 22 runs driven in. As he strides to the plate here to face the left-handed throwing Miyagi. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Have to say, Miyagi tonight, that was his 35th pitch. His counterpart, Takanaka, is not going to be so lucky, as his pitch count has been ratcheting up. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded to third. Really nice play there by Nishino. He throws to first. Kobakata is gone. And that is going to do it here for the Golden Eagles as they go in order here in inning number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. That's 4 in a row retired by Miyagi. We're now going to the top of the third inning. Your score is Buffalo's nothing and the Eagles nothing. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're a little late getting back into the saddle here, as it is going to be coming to bat here, the top of the order in Tokumasu Chano, and he takes a first pitch. Breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Had to go and get ourselves some throat lozenges. As I said, we were going to have a feeling tonight this is going to be one of those nights we're going to get pretty raspy quickly. Another breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Chano. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line, and it's going to land fair just inside the foul line. And the throw comes into second base, and it's not going to be in time. It was interesting, as the ball boy had evacuated out into fair territory. The left fielder had to come over to field the ball. That was Ito, digging hard and making it all the way into second with a double. That was a bit of a chintzy hit. But Chano has got himself a leadoff double here to start the third inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Masahiro Nishino. And keep your eyes on Nishino here. Let's see if they are going to nickel and dime and maybe bunt over to third and see if they can bring the leadoff man home for the first run of the game. So the first pitch from Takanaka instead is he does the old spaghetti move, as he is going to chase that runner back to second base. Here comes Nishino to the plate. He's raised his average up to 300 with that hit in the first inning, as he does square to bunt, and it is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. So let's see what the manager Nakajima has in mind here for the Buffaloes. I got to tell you, I always like the facial expressions of the manager Nakajima. He's got the best ones in the NPB. Things are going well. When things are going south, he's always got these weird looks. Again, he squares to bunt. This time it's fouled. Back towards the first base side home plate, and the count is 1-1 to Nishino. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Nishino getting himself in the batter's box. Ready to get the offering here from Takanaka. As he holds set, here's the pitch. Again, he squares to bunt, and again, this one has not gotten down. It's fouled off on the first base side. The count is 1-2 to Nishino. Even if Nishino comes up, he needs to roll it over to the right side. So if he can't get the job done on a bunt, got to get the bat to the ball, and this is where the left-handed hitter would get a high five coming back to the dugout for poor technique. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander Takanaka works himself to the set position. Checks the runner at second. Now here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned tonight, it's a little bit quiet here, as we would expect. Usually last night it was the late coming crowd in, especially when we got closer to the 5th inning. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined into center field, and that ball is going to be caught by Tatsumi. He throws it back in. They almost were able to get Chano doubled off. Got to tell you, Tatsumi did a great job to have to come in and get that ball. A heck of a defensive play for him. That's going to put Nishino in the books for the first out of the inning. And that would drive you crazy as a manager, as you potentially would have had a guy doubled off, especially after the fact that you tried to bunt him over to third. That play was a lot closer than I thought it was. Murray Biashi had to stretch off the base to pick it. Friend Kenny Weaver says, nice catch. I saw that in my mind. There you go. There's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Oda. He had to really come in hard, pick it off the shoe tops, and then he fired on the run like a shortstop to second base. Almost got the runner doubling off. I'm not sure where Chano was going. So here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball misses up and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. Not sure, Kenny, if you're able to watch along with us or if you just follow the voices that I give you. That was a heck of a play there by Tatsumi. Here comes the 2-0. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. The count is now 2-1. And you see that sometimes, even in Major League Baseball. Pump back liners, those things can get caught pretty easily. If you got somebody who can go into the gap and get it, that's the fun part to watch. I think of guys over yesteryear like Gary Pettis. Couldn't really hit, but boy, he could play defense. There's a fastball that just misses down. It's now 3-1 to Oda. I can tell you this, it's not been a clean game for the pitchers here yet. That is pitch number 50 here for Takanaka, and we're only in the 3rd inning. He has had to work hard tonight, and one would expect that the Eagles will probably be looking to the bullpen early tonight in this one. Fastball swung on and chopped foul over past the bag at third base, and it's now 3-2 to Oda. Kenny says just follows the voice on our end. Yeah, but that's okay too. That's why we are the old school radio. And some people, if they're able to simulcast it, they're able to find a feed and watch along. It's not so bad either. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as Takanaka holds set. He checks the runner Chano at second. And now he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and lifted into the seats behind the first base dugout, and the count remains at 3-2. Had the race back tonight. And a little stop on my way home at the local grocery store. And as I said, we picked up some of the Asian drinks I've been sucking back since I got back from Japan. As the 3-2 pitch is ready to go. Right-hander Takanaka delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to third. Fielding it on the run is Asamura, and he throws to first, and that is going to retire Oda. So he's not able to get the runner over to third. It's going to be a ground out 5-3. Nice play there by Asamura, ranging to his left into the 6-hole, cutting it off and being able to gun out Oda for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Tomoya Mori. Asamura drinking from the fountain of youth over there at third base, flashing the range that he once used to have playing second base for the same ball club. But we've got a stoppage in the action here as the pitching coaches come out to the mound. As they've come out to check on Takanaka, I don't know if they're going to talk about strategy here or if they're looking to see if he's healthy. So they have Tomoya Mori at the plate. Are they going to put him on to face Kobayashi? I'm pretty sure that's what they're discussing here. And I have to tell you, with an open base, I might consider that as well. So let's see what the Eagles have up their sleeve here. So let's see if they're going to pitch to him or if they're going to take their chances with Kobayashi. The other part to this is sometimes, I don't know if in this situation early in the game, they are going to pitch to Mori. Sometimes what you do is you start him off and you don't give him anything good to hit. And maybe he ends up swinging at a couple of bad pitches. There's a first pitch that's a fastball down, and the count is 1-0. And then maybe you just hold up the four fingers and put him on eventually nonetheless. Mori tonight, 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He's seen his average drop to 280. As the right-hander deals, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And there you have it there. They've just held up the other 2 fingers, and they put Mori on. So that's going to be an intentional walk as Mori is going to take his base. And that's probably the right thing to do. There you've got, let's give him a couple of pitches. Let's see if you can induce a crummy swing. Maybe you can get him to fall in the hole. But eventually there, they might as well just take your chances here with Kobayashi as it sets up the force. And we got our friend Tuna in the house tonight. How's it going? Well, it's been growing great this week. How have you been doing? Get ready for the playoffs, hopefully. There's a fastball that misses down, and the fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Kobayashi. Kenny Weaver says, take a 10-second break. This is the NPB radio network. Yeah, might as well be. Station identification back in the day. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As the right-hander Takanaka delivers a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. 57 pitches so far for the right-hander, and as I have suggested, I'm curious to see how long he's going to be here. Masahiro Tanaka last night did not get through to the 6th inning, but he had an excuse. He's come off some rehab assignments. It was his first start of the year in the NPB last night. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. He had off-season elbow surgery, and the elbow surgery, they called it cleaning. To me, that sounded like bone chips or possibly spurring or cartilage that was floating around in the elbow. But he pretty much missed the entire 2024 campaign. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field. Started in was the right fielder Ogo, and now he's got to go back and make an over-the-shoulder catch. And that is going to retire Kobayashi for the third out of the inning. He hit the ball hard, but right on the line. And that is going to do it here in the top of the third inning for the Buffaloes. So yet again, they get a runner in scoring position, and they can't do anything with it. No runs, one hit, no errors, and 2 runners left the board. Sorry for the little bit of extra cough in here. Couldn't get to the hot button in time. Your score as we move to the bottom of the third inning. We're all locked up at zeros. Stick around, everybody. I'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for being here. And our friend Alex in the house tonight, too. So we've got everybody checking in. Alex, you missed a good one last night. We had nearly 30 people in here holding it down for our ball game last night. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We got nothing as we move to the last half of the third inning. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us here tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9-1 and 2 hitters to come to bat. And Tsuyoshi Ishihara took a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike. Count is 0-1. And there's a breaking ball that misses in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Friend Alex says it must have been lit last night. It was something last night. We had a lot of people in the chat, some newcomers, some old comers. And it was a hopping time as there's a fastball swung on his chop softly back to the pitcher. Miyagi comes off the mound to field it himself. He throws to first. That is going to retire Ishihara on a ground out, 1-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Yuya Ogo. Got to tell you, if I was a Buffalo fan in this one here tonight, I don't think I'd be very happy with the way that this game has started off for the Buffaloes. They have had 4 hits here in the first 3 innings, and they have left 5 runners aboard, and they've had ample opportunity with less than 2 outs to drive 1 or 2 of these runners in, and they haven't been able to cash in on anything. First pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ogo. Ogo flew up to center field his first time up as he bats from the left side against Miyagi here. As the pitch is a slow breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count now goes to 0-2. That last pitch was at 85 kilometers an hour. And so by our books, if our math is right, that's like 51 miles an hour. Not as slow as some of the eephus pitches that we would see as Zach Greinke toss up to the plate. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. But nevertheless, it is something that keeps the hitters off balance. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty Ogo waits, and there's a fastball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. Eagles and Buffaloes here. The other game that we'll be keeping an eye on is going to get going in a couple of minutes. That is the Marines and the Lions. As that ball game is set to get underway at the Balluna Dome in just a few. As that fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2 to Ogo. 2 games separate the Eagles and the Marines, and a win here for the Eagles and a loss by the Marines would tighten things up. Fastball swung on, chopped over to third, fielded by Nishino. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Ogo on a ground out, 5-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 Eagles up and 2 Eagles down, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Itsuki Muribayashi. That is 6 in a row retired now by Miyagi, and when he gets on a roll, he can be something special. The games that are going on the out-of-town scoreboard, as we mentioned, the other one is the game between the Fighters and the Hawks, as that fastball is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. A 3-0 lead for the Hawks. Early on, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Muribayashi is aboard with a 2-out single, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Interesting is it's going to be Jun Maeda who is taking to the hill tonight for the Hawks. He faces Takayuki Kato. But I have to say, I don't know much about Maeda, and I believe that might be his debut. I'd have to go and do a little research on the Hawks starter. The game in between the Marines and the Lions, it's Ojima versus Yoza. As there's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Tatsumi. I remember watching Yoza pitch a couple of years ago. He's kind of like this side-arming right-hander that'll lull you to sleep. His numbers this year aren't very good, but he has had some really good games at times, to the point where he can keep teams right in check, off balance, ties them all up. There's a slow breaking ball that misses away outside. The count goes even to 1-1 on Tatsumi. Alex says the stream is perfectly synced somehow. One thing that I did notice when I was in Japan, and I pulled up the game on my phone, there was 15 seconds between the game and the watching it live and the phone. When I was in Chiba, I did it. As that breaking ball is swung on and missed, the count goes to 1-2. Marines and the Lions were playing, and there was a hit batter at the time, and had a chance to pull out my phone. And as I said, the time was quite a bit. There's a ground ball hit to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Oda. Easily going to throw to first. That's going to be a ground out, 4-3. And that is going to do it here for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was the 2-out hit by Muribayashi. No errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now a third of the way through this ball game. Your score is the Eagles 0 and the Buffaloes 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back here in just a few. And Mr. Miyagi will be playing this game here as well as we return. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this in just a couple moments. Welcome back, everybody. It is Takanaka who completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here. He's going to be facing Nishikawa, Cedeno, and Watanabe. 59 pitches for the right-hander through the first 3 innings, as he has had a lot of the workload. Kenny says the favorite part of the stream is the cheerleaders. Yeah, well, that's until they smile at you, Kenny, and then you start to run for the hills a bit. It is one of the downfalls of the cheerleaders, I'm afraid. The first pitch is a breaking ball, taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Nishikawa. Oh boy, Alex is now throwing out the jokes here. I'll let you guys do that one. So Nishikawa 0 for 1 tonight, has grounded out to second base as the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined in the left field. This ball is going to get down, and it's going to get cut off before it gets to the wall. Digging for second is Nishikawa. The throw in, and it is not in time. Oh boy, it looked like Nishikawa maybe had slowed up a little bit getting around first base as the throw from Ito came right into the bag. Yeah, so he has got himself a leadoff double here, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Our friend Alex says, savage. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the one downfall for some of the things over there. I would say a couple of things, but I don't I don't want to turn off some of our listeners. It is kind of unfortunate at times. There's a first pitch fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. It was quickly 0-1 to Cedeno. Cedeno is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a double his first time up. He's raised his season average to 251. 13 homers and 32 runs batted in for the big fella. I'd be shocked if he did not get another contract in the NPB just because of his age and his ability. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and the count goes to 1-1. Major League Baseball playoffs get going on Tuesday. And I don't think all the matchups are quite set yet because the Tigers did lose to the White Sox today. Hadn't checked in on the action of the Kansas City Royals. Kansas City lost to Atlanta, so it looks like I think the Tigers are still a game up on the Royals. There's a fastball swung on. It's chop foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 1-2. You're talking about that. It was, I guess, a walk-off. So the Braves are 1 win away from the postseason. Very interesting. As the right-hander holds to the set, here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. I guess the Tigers, Jackson Jobe, the star rookie, the former number 1 pick that the Tigers had, came on in relief today as kind of like the opener, or not the opener, but following in. He went 3 innings today for the Tigers, followed by Ty Madden and Gunter. Well, Jobe, they're talking about maybe making the playoff rosters. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count's 2-2. I actually thought for a while there that the Tigers might do, I think, what Shane Baz did, if I'm not mistaken, for the Tampa Bay Rays, and that is make his big league debut in the playoffs. Now, that would have been something. I think there have been a couple of guys that had done that. Not too many in recent time, but there have been 2 or 3 players. As the 2-2 pitch is ready to come here to Cedeno. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field for a base hit. That should get the run in. Rounding third and heading home is Nishikawa. As Cedeno's got himself an RBI single, his 33rd RBI of the year, and that's going to open up the scoring here for the Buffaloes as they now have grabbed themselves a 1-0 lead here in the 4th inning. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Haruto Watanabe. Kenny says the Tigers' magic number is 1 then. Yeah, 1 for them. Well, they've already clinched the playoff spot. The problem is that what they have to do is they are already in because the Minnesota Twins had choked out the other night. question is are they going to finish in second place or as the wild card or the third wild card team? And so as far as I know, if they win tomorrow or Kansas City lost tomorrow, then it'll probably be a situation as there's a first pitch fastball missing down and into Watanabe. It's going to end up being where the Tigers, if the Tigers finish in the second wild card spot, they're going to get the Orioles. If they finish in the third wild card spot, they're going to get themselves the Astros. Pick your poison. Fastball swung on, lined into right field. It's down for a base hit, and it's into the corner. Rounding first and heading to second is Watanabe, and stopping at third is Cedeno. As Watanabe kind of gives him a smile, I think probably Watanabe knows that Cedeno probably took a triple away from him, as he's got himself a double here as Watanabe. Stopping at third is Cedeno, and that's going to bring up Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate with 2 on and nobody out. Friend Kenny says the Yankees lost to the Pirates. I think Paul Skeens went today. Yankee Stadium on the biggest stage. But I certainly know that Rowdy Tellez wasn't in the Pirate lineup. That was a pretty embarrassing maneuver that the Pirates exhibited. Looked like it was Sean Burke, then Mike Soroka, and then Varland, Gus Varland today for the White Sox to hold the Tigers to only 3 hits as they shut out Detroit. Here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. They probably partied hard into the night last night. Did the Tigers? I mean, in the Friday night, knowing that they had won once the Twins had tapped out. So no balls and 1 strike. Watanabe really bounding off second base. Buffaloes have been all over the base paths in this one. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 0-2. They just haven't been able to cash any runs until this half inning. It's now 1-0 here. Skeens went just 2 innings. That's bizarre. I didn't realize that they went 2 and took him out. Alex had Skeens having a sub-2 ERA, and then took him out. There's a fly ball lifted into right field. It could be deep enough. Catching it is Ogo. Tagging at third is Cedeno, and he's going to throw on the brakes, as that is not deep enough to get him in. Wakatsuki's going to be gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Takamasa Chano. Just looking at some of the other pieces here in our chat, Eloy says Jackson Merrill's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think so in the National League. I mean, Skeens is going to get a lot of votes, but I think Merrill has been there the whole season, and I think he is probably going to be warranted for that. By the way, not a bad throw there by Ogo as it went right to the dish, holding Cedeno at third. So I wonder at what point here you want to walk somebody to load the bases. Maybe face Nishino instead of Chano. Chano had doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Takes the first pitch fastball outside for a ball. The count is 1-0. Tigers apparently on August the 11th had like a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. And they've been something ridiculous, like 36-12 since that time period. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 1-1 here to Chano. So 36 wins and 12 losses is unbelievable. At least in my eyes, it's unbelievable. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to the left-handed hitting Chano. Runner at third, Cedeno. Runner at second, Watanabe. 1 run in already here for the Buffaloes. There's 1 gone in the 4th. Takanaka has struggled since the get-go as the right-hander works to the set. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lined into right field. It's down for a base hit. That's going to get a pair of runs home. Chasing it into the corner is the right fielder Ogo, digging for second and stopping there with a 2-run double is Chano. That's his second double of the night, as that is going to increase the Buffalo lead to 3-0. Cedeno crossing the plate. Watanabe not that far behind him, as all of the runs have come here in the fourth inning, as the Buffaloes now enjoying a 3-0 lead. Alex says, truly an epic year for baseball. He saw the last game at the Oakland Coliseum. I didn't know you were in Oakland, Alex. Or were in Oakland at that point. So that brings Masahiro Nishino to the plate. And Shino, 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. One of the things I was thinking about actually was the Washington Nationals the other day. I was thinking specifically about Paul Skeens as well as Dylan Cruz. Dylan Cruz, who the Nationals took, Scott Boras as his agent, and he basically told that Pirates, he didn't want to play there. Don't take me. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt. Off to the races goes the runner Chano to third, and they're going to gun him down. A great throw there by Ishihara, as he was able to recover the ball and put a throw right on the money to retire Chano. Actually, it wasn't a bad read by Chano, as the ball had gotten the dirt and it had moved up the first baseline. Ishihara came up, got it, as it had got through, and he was able to gun down the runner. Oh boy, the throw was right on the money. So that's going to go caught stealing 2-5 in the books for the second out of the inning. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Nishino. So here comes the pitch from the right-hander, as it is a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Kenny Weaver says he doesn't blame him for not playing in Pittsburgh, and you're right there as well, Kenny. I mean, hey, you see what they did to you, Rowdy Tellez this week. Any free agent who wants to go to Pittsburgh, buyer beware, as that ball was swung on, lifted into left field. And Nishino is going to be retired for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half. Well, they had 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors and nobody left the board. Now moving to the bottom half of the fourth inning, your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is the Eagles come to bat when we return after this. Three nothing's the scoreline. We'll be back in 30 after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. 51 pitches through the first 3 innings for the left-hander Miyagi, as he's sent to face the heart of the Eagle batting order. It'll be Asamura, Yasuda, and Ito to come to bat. And the first pitch, breaking ball, is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Asamura batting from the right side here against the lefty. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Kenny says they did Rowdy wrong in my book, just didn't want to pay him his bonus so close to getting a couple $100,000 for the plate appearances. That's exactly what it was. That is so unfortunate. It just gives the Pirates they're notoriously been a cheap organization. It just underscores their cheapness as that breaking ball misses down and away. When I think of players that could potentially go to Japan, Rowdy Tellez is a guy in my eyes that could end up in the land of the rising sun. Fastball taken on the inside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. Tellez had that one big year where he hit 30 bombs, and he's kind of been scuffling in the mid-teens ever since. But I could see Tellez easily going over to Japan and playing as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count's 2-2 to Asamura. Left-hander against the right-hander. There's a fastball that just misses inside. The count now goes full to Asamura. Yeah, Kenny says that's why they don't win. It's also that it's the culture. It's the what you foster to everybody else. So there's a fastball swung on and should foul into the seats, and the count remains at 3-2. I'll give an example. If you go back in time, as you guys know that I followed the Detroit Tigers. Tigers had Maglio Ordonez, and they had signed him from the White Sox. And I remember Illich had, I think it was like $18 million, the father. As there's a fastball swung on, it's lined into left field for a base hit, and Asamura's aboard with a leadoff single. It's going to bring up the DH Yuma Yasuda. Anyways, I forget what it is. He got hurt or he was hurt, and they still wanted his services, and they gave him $18 million for 1 year. And here the Pirates are chincing over $200,000 to Rowdy Tellez. So good on Mike Illich, the senior owner of the Tigers at the time before he passed, for spending the money and looking after his guys. So here comes the first pitch delivered to Yasuda. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yasuda tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up. Got the start behind the plate last night, and today he is the DH as that fastball swung on. It's grounded to second. They go to second for one, back to first. That's going to be a double play as it's going to go in the books on the 4-6-3 variety. As Asamura is gone for the first out. Yasuda gone for out number 2. That brings Yukiya Ito to the plate. Well, for Ito, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. Ito standing in here waiting on the first pitch from Miyagi, and it's another one of those slow ephus type pitches. Anything that drops in under 60 miles an hour is not in my books, as the first pitch was a 1-0 pitch. Now there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Miyagi, not wasting any time, goes back to work. There's a fastball that just misses down and in. Count is now 2-1 to Ito. No scoring in that game between the Marines and the Lions yet. They're in the top of the second. As that fastball is taken for a called strike, it's now 2-2 to Ito. But the Carp have a 2-1 lead over the Dragons in the bottom of the first inning. Oh, how the Carp have really stunk it up in the month of September. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses down. It goes all the way to the backstop, and the count's now full to Ito. Carp lost last night, and I think that was their 18th loss of the month. They were in first place at the beginning of September. They have fallen into 4th, and they're pretty much playing themselves right out of the playoff picture. Can't believe it. As the left-hander throws a breaking ball. It is swung on and missed. Ito's in the books for the third out of the inning, and that'll do it here for the Eagles in their half of the fourth. They go quietly. It's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the fifth. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action when we return after this. Appreciate you guys here. As it is the Eagles and the Buffaloes from Tohoku. Here you go, everybody. This will keep Kenny Weaver attentive, and now we got him thinking about the teeth. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat Oda, Mori, and Kirby-Ashi here to start the fifth inning against the starter Takanaka. One would have to think that Takanaka is on life support, as he is going to be facing the 3, 4, and 5 here. 79 pitches through 4 innings for the right-hander. As the first pitch is on its way, it is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. The pitching parade should start probably as early as the 6th inning, as Takanaka delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander again kicks and fires. Fastball misses down. The count goes to 1-2. One of our friends of the channel who comes in is the living room from time to time, as the 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 2-2 to Oda. He got us hooked on watching NBL basketball, as it is the NBL season underway, as that would be the Australian Basketball League. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, this ball is lined into right field, and it's going to get over the head of the right fielder Ogo. It's going to take a weird hop off the wall, digging for second, and rounding second is the runner Oda, but he's going to stop there. It's going to be another double here tonight for the Buffaloes as he cruises into second base. And by our count here tonight, that is the 5th double. In fact, sorry, check that. The 6th double hit by the Buffaloes here in this one. 6 doubles, and you've only got 3 runs to show for it. It's pretty crazy. Good inside-out swing there by Oda, driving it off the wall in right field, and that'll bring up the designated hitter Tomoya Mori. Well, for Mori, as he stands in here, he is officially 0 for 1. He struck out and was intentionally walked. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Mori. I was saying about the NBL basketball, we got hooked on watching it last year by the living room. That would be the NBA version. I think the Washington Ball Club took that Alexander Sarr, as that fastball misses inside. The count is 2-0 to Mori. Alexander Sarr is, I believe, a Frenchman who was playing in the Australian League last year. And I'm pretty sure he is a Washington Wizard. So here comes the 2-0 pitch as the right-hander delivers. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. So if you're looking for some late-night stuff, late, Go check out the NBL and see what it's all about. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And moving over to third, he had the weight up, did Oda. Nice job there to decoy the runner by Tatsumi. That's going to put runners at the corners with nobody out, and it's going to bring Kentaro Kobayashi to the plate. I was mentioning earlier, I was talking about the delay in between Pacific League, their feed, and when you're at the stadium. So it's a good solid 15-second, 17-second feed or delay. And then what you also find out, or what I find out, is then you're looking at when you're doing the games on, of course, we do use a third-party application. I think there's a 6 or 7 second delay between us and the games. So you're talking good solid 22, 23 seconds. So that brings Kentaro Kobayashi to the plate. Kobayashi 0 for 2 in this one. He's bounced into a fielder's choice and lined to right field. And all hail is Gracie Lynn is back in the house tonight. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Kentaro Kobayashi. It's going pretty good tonight. We had got in approximately about 45 minutes before the start of this one. We were on the field all day today. We had some programming from 11 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, almost 8 hours on the field. About an hour worth of break in there. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side of home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. I got a group of under 12s, and I was working with bunts and bunt defense, working on our fundamental skills. And for the last 3 hours, we had to practice with them, and I had one of my older boys helping me out, and he was just amazed at how well they picked up the bunt defenses. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. That should be deep enough to get the run in. Camping out underneath it is Tatsumi. Tagging at third and heading home is Oda, and that is going to be the 4th run of the ball game here for the Buffaloes. So a sacrifice fly by Kobayashi, bringing home the 4th run, and that'll bring up the left fielder Ryoma Nishikawa. Gracie says it's a lot of practice, but that's what we do. We had a group of young kids who were, I don't know, they were about 7 and 8 years old. We had them with their parents for an hour and a half, and then we had an hour and a quarter. And we had a group of T-ballers for an hour, and another group of 7 and 8 year olds for an hour and a quarter. So now you're looking at about 3.5 hours with them, and then another 3 hours plus with our 12, 11, 10-year-olds. And it's good fun. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. Tomorrow we got the day off, and then we take our older kids over to the island as we play a doubleheader on a holiday Monday with the kids that we have. And the kids that we have some ability. We have some kids that they're trying. So there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Nishikawa. Nishikawa tonight, 1 for 2. He's got a double. He scored a run. He's also grounded out. As Takanaka checks the runner at first base, as he works to the set position, here comes the 1-1. On the way, fastball swung on. It is looped into center field, just past the glove of the shortstop, Murray Biashi. Stopping at second is going to be Mori, and that is going to be another base hit here. Oh boy, when you look at the hits tonight here so far, my math is correct. We got 11 hits already tonight for the Buffaloes. And out comes the manager MI, as does the pitching coach. That is going to do it. They've seen enough. As that is going to be it here for Takanaka. He's going to go to the bullpen. Friend Gracie Lynn says she's off and on the chat watching Arizona and Utah. That's all good. We're hanging out here a little bit ourselves. It is going to be a pitching change with runners at first and second here in the top of the fifth inning. I'm not sure if Takanaka was put out of our misery or if he was put out of the Eagles' misery, but he's done for the night. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. Appreciate you hanging out here regardless with us. We'll be right back after this with all the action. Well, if we can get through our technical glitches, we will. Here we go.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a right-hander. It's going to be Taisi Surasaki coming into the ballgame, as he is going to be set to replace the right-hander Ryota Takanaka. So Surasaki on in relief, as he is going to come in here to face Leandro Cedeno. And we were saying here it is, I think if I'm bringing Surasaki in here, it's got to be a steady diet of breaking balls to hopefully try to induce Cedeno to roll over on something. And he is definitely a double play candidate, but he's also a candidate to put a ball into the seats. So 4-0 here, and our friend Alex says, this is where Alex usually lays the kiss of death. He says, the Eagles aren't coming back. I'm going to tap out. And the next thing you know, he goes to sleep and wakes up tomorrow morning, and it is a 5-4 win for the Eagles. I could just smell it coming. But that being said, the Buffaloes here are definitely in the driver's seat right now, up 4-0. And the Eagles, how disappointing is this? I mean, they got a couple of games coming up against the Marines next week, but they got to at least hang around to make those ones at least somewhat exciting. There's a first pitch fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Cedeno. Cedeno tonight is 2 for 2. He's got a single and a double and an RBI in his 2 trips to the plate, as he bats here from the right side against the right-handed throwing Surasaki. Right-hander holds set. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes even at 1-1. Kenny Weaver says Matt Hollis better stick to teaching. Gracie says the Carp and the Dragons look like it's going to be a good game. It was 1-0 early for the Dragons, and then the Carp responded with a pair. There's a split finger pitch that swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 1-2 on Leandro Cedeno. As I said, the 11 hits in tonight's ball game, of the 11 hits by the Buffaloes, I've got 6 of them as doubles. I'll have to do a check at the end of the ball game tonight, but I wonder what the record would be for most doubles in a game in the NPB. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field, but it's going to get down in front of Tatsumi. He does another nice job of decoying it as it is going to load the bases. Tomoya Mori stops at third. Stopping at second is Nishikawa. Leandro Cedeno's got his 3rd hit of the evening, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Haruto Watanabe. And be careful here. I know the bases are loaded, but Watanabe last night had a safety squeeze that brought home a run, and I wouldn't bat an eye that he would try to push something down the first baseline. So all eyes on the Buffalo center fielder. So Watanabe digs himself into the batter's box. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got one of those 6 doubles. He's also grounded out to first. The Eagles have the infield in. And I got to tell you, at this point in time of the ball game, They got to do everything they can here to stop runs. So Surasaki holds at the belt. Here comes the first pitch to Watanabe. No sign of a bunt. He takes a breaking ball outside. Count is quickly 1-0. This is going to be a tough one to double up here. In fact, darn near impossible. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. Yeah, the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. That ball is going to get down and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Watanabe is going to round first and head to second. And that is going to cash in at least 2 runs. I don't know if it was 3. It's going to get a pair across the plate. And guess what? Watanabe's got his another double. So Gracie Lynn says the most doubles in a game is 12 by the Tigers. Well, guess what? That's double number 7 here. 2 RBIs for Watanabe. That's going to increase the scoreline to 6-0. So the assault to see if they can hit more than 12 doubles is on here. This is unbelievable. They're playing pepper with the right field wall. That brings Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate. What do we have over here? Do we have a pinch runner? Looks like we do have a pinch runner. It looks like it's Koji Oshiro has come in to run for Cedeno. That's kind of similar to last night. Cedeno, 3 hits tonight, and your reward is you're out of the game by the 5th inning. That brings Wakatsuki to the plate with runners at second and third, and the first pitch is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count is 0-1. So all the runs that have come across were the responsibility of Takanaka. His line is going to be over as he just went 4+ innings. 4 1/3 to be exact. As his line is now finished. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. Gracie said she'd like to brag that she knew that off the top of her head, but she used a chat GPT. Now, the question is chat GPT always reliable? There's a 1-1 pitch here on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It was 1-2 to Wakatsuki. Have to admit, I don't think I've ever used that before. Maybe I'm just a bit of a dinosaur or turning into a dinosaur. Or as we say, you're turning into your parents right in front of your eyes. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. And the count remains at 1-2 to Wakatsuki. Well, I can tell you what I do. I've got a couple of the Japanese programs over the last couple of years where they have all the roster information. I got them, of course, last year, and I got one this year here too. They give you the data, they give you the spray charts, they tell you what the tendencies of the players are. As that breaking ball misses up and away, and how I read that stuff, and it's great information. It's tons. I have to read it with my Google Translate over top, take a picture of it, get the translation, and be able to make my notes from it that way. So it helps me with some of the players. Also, the back of the baseball cards, which is interesting. They have a lot of did you know sections about the players. So I do a lot of reading up on the players that way to get some information. There's a fastball swung on. It is hit back towards the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 2-2. That's generally what we do. Alex says it can be more recent ones can stump it. Anything 3 years older is pretty good. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down. It's now 3-2 to Wakatsuki. Oh boy, I have a feeling this game here could get out of control, out in a hurry. What a whimper for the Golden Eagles in front of your home crowd, getting torched 6-0 by a team that's not even in the playoff hunt. They're officially eliminated. 0-0 at the Balluna Dome between the Lions and the Marines. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Wakatsuki. And that is a fastball swung on. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to get one run in. And stopping over at third is Watanabe. Surprisingly, he's the guy with the wheels. Coming in to score is Oshiro. That is the 4th run of the inning. So if you took the under in this one, you are euchred. If you took the over in this one, you're whistling Dixie. That might be just for the game. So Wakatsuki with an RBI single. That's going to put runners at the corners. Still only one out, and it brings the top of the order in. Takabasa to the plate. Our friend Kenny says, be right back. Kenny, make sure you bring us some chimichangas or some enchiladas back. We'll pass it around for you. Our friend Eloy was in here earlier, but he must have been on a taco run. So batting here from the left side is the right fielder of the Buffaloes. He is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a pair of doubles. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Ken in the house tonight. We appreciate you for being here. Alex says, yeah, when you got nothing to play for, you can just focus on padding your stats. See, I've always had a feeling that our friend Titus here, God is great, and Kenny Weaver are the same guy. Kenny says, I'll be right back. And there's Ken when he walks in here, masquerading as Kenny Weaver. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Count now goes to 0-2 on Chano. The hit parade is just continuing to roll tonight for the Buffaloes. By my books, that is 14 hits so far tonight here in this one. Yes, here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field, drifting over toward the foul line. Underneath it to make the catch is Ito, tagging at third, and heading home is Watanabe, and that's going to increase the scoreline to 8-0. Sacrifice fly by Chano. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Scoring from third, Watanabe with the 5th run of the inning, as that is making it an 8-0 scoreline. Friend Alex says, I wonder what the dynamics of team efforts are compared to the MLB. Yeah, I think that's exactly it, Alex. I think there's still where they play for one another in Japan a little bit more, especially because the free agency and the movement is not as frequent. Our friend God is great says he is the handsome Ken. Of course he is. So 8-0, the Buffaloes have the lead. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nishino. Nishino 1 for 3 tonight. One of the few Buffaloes without a double. Our friend Ken said he opened some Series 3 packs there. There's a fastball swung on, grounded right back to the pitcher. Fielded, they have to throw to first, and it's not going to be in time as Nishino's going to beat it out. It looked like that the pitcher, Surasaki, was playing soccer with it on the mound. It was a hard comebacker. He had kicked it, and then he kicked it again. Then he had to chase it down. And so we've still got a scoreline of 8-0 here. Our friend God is great said he opened up some Series 3 packs today. And I would assume that you're talking about Calby. I didn't know if Calby was coming out with 3s or not. So Wakatsuki is the runner at second. The runner at first, Nishino. And Ryo Oda, who started this inning with a double, is coming up again here. He is 2 for 3 tonight. Talking about padding stats, this game here is one for the Buffalo offense. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Gracie Lenz says normally she wouldn't stick around for a blowout like this, but she wants to see if we're going to break the doubles record. Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. We're on a heck of a pace for that. I want to see if the Buffaloes can put up 20 tonight. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field, and underneath it is Tatsumi. That's not quite enough, and that is going to retire the Buffaloes here, but they send 10 batters to the plate, and the beatdown here is in full effect. They scored 5 runs in the inning on the benefit of 7 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is the Buffaloes 8, the Fighters nothing. Hang tight, everybody. Or the Fighters, the Eagles nothing. Might as well be the Fighters, because I don't think they've got anything going on over there in Fukuoka tonight either. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back after this. And more than anything, Alex, you want to stick around for tonight's halftime show. You'll get a kick out of this one as we put it together from our last trip to Japan, but we'll save it for you after the bottom half of the 5th. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Welcome back, everybody. Our friends Kenny said, didn't you say they scored 5 runs in the inning? You got it. It is an 8-0 scoreline right now, and we'll be back in just a couple moments as Miyagi has just about completed his warm-up tosses. All right, everybody, here comes Miyagi to face Daichi Suzuki, and the first pitch to the first baseman of the Eagles is a fastball up in the zone, and the count is 1-0. It's Suzuki, Kobakata, and Ishihara to get things going here, as the pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, and this ball is going to get down for a base hit as Chano can't come up with it. So what do you know? Here come the Eagles with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Hiroto Kobakata. So maybe you guys are predicting the wild stuff here. It was actually 3-0 at the end of the 4th inning, and they put 5 up in the 5th. I think when they did the pitching change, I had changed it from 3 to 4. Usually I do my changes at the end of the half inning. But when they made the pitching change, I updated our scoreline. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Kobakata. Kobakata tonight is 0 for 1, as he had grounded to third his first time up. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is 1-1. So Alex says he's going to stick around for the halftime show. It was the video I took when I was in Chiba. I ran it last night, I think, for the first time. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, lined into center field. It's down for a base hit. And here come the Eagles, rounding second and heading to third is Suzuki, and the throw is not going to be in time. Throw goes down to second, and Kobakata goes to second on the throw. What do you know? We got a single and Kobakata going to second on the throw. Suzuki all the way around first to third. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Tsuyoshi Ishihara. It's nothing worse when you are a team that sticks a 5 spot on the board. You're up 8 to bagel. And the next thing you know is the other team comes back to start the inning with a couple of hits, looking like they want to add some runs here. So who knows what we got on our hands here? Eagles starting to flap their wings. And this is the part that I do not understand. The Buffaloes have got the infield in. Why? At this time of the game, I'm trading runs for outs. You don't need to play this into a bigger inning. That doesn't make any sense. First pitch fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Ishihara. So Ishihara, 1 ball and no strikes. Waiting on the offering from Miyagi. And this is the Japanese Alejandro Kirk. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded to short. Well, who am I to say something different? Nice play by Kobayashi. As he gets it, he throws to first, and that's going to hold the runner at third. Ground out 6-3. In the books is Ishihara for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring Yuya Ogo to the plate. Gracie Lynn says she feels that the catchers should be the biggest home run hitters. Problem is that squatting over the course of the game really takes the stuffing out of you. As it takes the juice out of your legs, juice out of everything. It's not easy. As Yuya Ogo strides to the plate with the runners at second and third, fastball misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Ogo. So 1 ball and no strikes. Crowd is cheering their Eagles on. They are into it here. Eagles certainly haven't given their home crowd a lot to cheer for here tonight. Fastball swung on and a line foul into the seats down the left field line. Count is 1-1 here to Ogo. Kenny Weaver asks the question. He says, do you think Thurman Munson belongs in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, that's a great question. I think he was on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Here's the 1-1 fastball taken for a called strike. It's now 1-2 to Ogo. I definitely think he was on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Unfortunately, untimely cut short due to that plane crash. And I'm not a Yankee fan, but I have to respect talent when you see it, and Munson had the talent. Fastball swung on and a lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. So I really didn't answer your question. I do think that you have to take some of that in consideration. There's not been a ton of baseball players that have been killed in the middle of their career, or at least in the starts of their career, or wherever it is in their career at the major league level. One player I remember, Lyman Bostock, was one with the Angels, I believe. It was Angel or a Twin. As that breaking ball misses down and away, it's now 2-2. He was murdered just outside of Chicago. I remember Nick Aidenhart was killed in a car crash. As the 2-2 pitch from Miyagi is ready to come here. Kicks and delivers, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. So, yeah, I guess in some regards, I think that Thurman Munson has a serious case, especially for the length of time he had put in already at that point as an established big leaguer. I think like a Nick Aidenhart or somebody else, I don't think they would have maybe been in there. Here comes the 2-2. There's a fastball swung on his chop foul just down the first base line. Count remains at 2-2 on Ogo. Charging hard to come and make that play was the first baseman, Ryo Oda. Oda, who started the game at second base, he was moved over to first. It is Koji Oshiro who came in to run for Leandro Cedeno. He was moved over to second base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Miyagi delivers. It is a fastball swung on and missed. Ogo went fishing for that. He's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Don't tell me Miyagi might wiggle his way out of this one. As they got 2 aboard and 2 gone, that's going to bring up the shortstop, Atsuki Maribayashi. I guess we can't have barn burners and exciting games every night. That is certainly the case here. It is not a barn burner or exciting, but it is entertaining in some ways. But certainly a base hit here could keep the Eagles in some sort of striking distance. Manny Mike in the house tonight, as that fastball misses for a ball, and the count is 1-0. I got to tell you, of all the people in our chat, Manny Mike has got a pretty cool logo. And not just the people in the chat tonight. This has come over the last couple of months as that breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate you for popping in here tonight, Manny. Not quite the same vibe as last night's game with the score line like it is, but the people that are in here are pretty good. As we do appreciate the support. As there is a fastball swung on, it is popped up here on the infield. Over on the right side, it looks like it's playable. Moving over and making the catch is Oda. And that is going to do it as the pitcher Miyagi is able to wiggle himself out of a jam. He allowed the first 2 runners to reach base. They had runners at second and third with nobody out. And he's able to get himself as an escape artist out of this one. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. Hang tight, everybody. We're going to be going to the 6th inning. We've got ourselves our Japanese halftime. Our friend Alex can't wait for the stuff here. And our friend Manny Mike says it is the mascot for our candle company. We'll be right back here in just a couple. And we'll keep chatting with the chat after this. It's time for us to go get a drink, get a little something to eat. And we'll be right back after this with you guys here tonight. Hang tight, everybody. be right back in just a couple minutes. The 6th inning is just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. 8-0 Buffaloes when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be another inning of Surasaki coming in here to face the Buffaloes. So that assault for doubles is going to possibly be there. Our friend Alex, I'm not sure what he thought about that drum major. I would guess it would probably be something along the lines of, I would say, probably college kids, like a little older than high schoolers. If anything, it could be maybe grade 12s or something like that. Maybe that might be the case. Gracie Lynn said she was wrong about the Nicaraguan League last night. Winter League has either 5 or 6 teams. I thought it was 4. I thought it used to be 5 and they lost one, but you might be right. And the Summer League has more, that is for sure. And the Winter League is a little bit that. My friend Gracie Lynn says it varies depending on the number of teams. So Surasaki is completing his warm-up tosses here as we're about ready to resume the action. As he's just completing his tosses here. It seems like it was a little extra long inning here. Maybe, I don't know, it's because maybe it's just because the Eagles made it extra long. But it's going to be the Buffaloes coming to bat here in the heart of the order. It'll be Tomoya Mori, Katara Kobayashi, and Ryoma Nishikawa to get things going here. Alex said, pretty cool little performance. Yeah, it was kind of neat. Actually, I was there before the game in Chiba between them and the Lions and was able to get that on video. I said, that's going to be kind of cool. Able to put that to use for our channel. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0 to Mori. Mori tonight in 3 trips has a single for 2, and he's also drawn a walk. Our friend Kenny Weaver says, what would it cost to get the baseball card of the Japanese cheerleaders? We'll have something for you in between the innings there, Kenny. Ask and you shall receive. Gracie Lynn said, if there's no doubles this inning, she's tapping out because of the late night due to college football and got to prepare for the NFL tomorrow. There's no NFL tomorrow, Gracie Lynn. That goes on Monday night. As the 2-0 pitch is a fastball that misses up, and it's now 3-0 to Mori. It'll be the Lions and we'll call them the Shithawks, because that's what we call them here in the Northwest if you don't like them. The Seattle Ball Club. As the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now is 3-1, especially when they're playing my team. On Monday night, we'll call a lot of different names. Hope they don't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch on the 1. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses up and in. It's going to be ball 4. Maury's going to get himself another walk. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Well, this has got to be painful for the Eagle fans. You are that close. You tie the Marines in the standings about a week or so ago, and you fall back a little bit. You've got a homestand against the Buffaloes where they are out of the playoffs. You got a chance to beat up on a non-playoff team, and you can't get it done. Gracie says her Titans go on Monday night as well, but there's other games tomorrow. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kobayashi. Hopefully, if anything, it'll be the Bears losing, the Vikings losing, and the Packers losing, and that would make my Sunday. So no balls and 1 strike. Can't believe the Vikings are 3-0. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by Kobakati, goes to second for 1, back to first. It's going to be a double play. That's going to be of the 4-6-3 variety, as they're able to turn 2 here. That's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. My friend Alex says this game we're watching is all kinds of silly. Yeah, absolutely. It's just you watch some of the stuff that's going on in this game here. It's unbelievable. Vikings play the Packers. She says, well, maybe somebody will get a win there. Well, probably will end up a tie. I can see that happening. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Nishikawa. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Kenny is probably queuing up to see what we have. Well, this game can pick up the pace a bit. I'll probably be able to watch some New Zealand Breakers in Southeast Melbourne in the ball game in the NBL tonight. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1. They're talking earlier on. I said about one of our other listeners has got me watching the National Basketball League of Australia, of all things, as their season has started off. The big one is Montrezl Harrell, the former Philadelphia 76er, is playing for the Adelaide 36ers. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down. Goes all the way to the backstop. The count's now 2-1 to Nishikawa. Montrezl Harrell, undersized center, but boy, is he a physical brute. In the Australian League, here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's on its way. It is a fastball that misses outside. It's now 3-1. If I remember correctly, I think last week he had ended up with like a double-double of like 13 boards, 13 points. And then last night, I peeked in and he had something like, I don't know if he had 20 boards. Just crazy. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and fires, fastball swung on, popped up behind home plate, but that one's going to reach the seats. The count now goes full to Nishikawa. Gracie asks the always important question is, what are the chances of going to a team with 2 numbers and 3 letters to another team with 2 numbers and 3 letters? Yeah, I guess the 49ers didn't come calling. Had to go to all the way to Australia. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 3-2 to Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pain of this one here is going to be a tough one here tonight. I'm going to have to sit down and make some short videos of some highlights as the 3-2 is on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to second, fielded by Kobakata. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning, and the Buffaloes go unconventionally in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is 8-0. Hang tight, everybody. Our friend Kenny, this is for you. And hopefully you guys hang here with us for another little bit longer. so we don't start snoring and falling asleep on you at some point in time. This is our friend Steve Rademacher, keeping it real.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Last Reps Baseball, where we're going to open some dancing heroine cards during this intermission. Japanese baseball has cheerleaders for their sport. So let's see what we get from the Japanese baseball cheerleaders. Got swallows, and I bet she does. We have the Lions. It's one of my favorite teams. Oh, wow. Now that's all sorts of nice. Ramu. Very cool. We have Neon. And we have Angels of Hiroka. And the one Japanese card no one can read, we got from the Giants. So everybody, enjoy the game. Back to you, Freddie, and peace out.
Appreciate you there, Steve. Hiroya Miyagi's completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get back to the live action here, as the left-hander is wasting no time. Ready to go back at it here against the Golden Eagles in the bottom of the sixth inning. You figure you spot Miyagi a 8-0 lead. He's at 85 pitches. The only thing that you can hope for is you knock him out of the game and you can get into the Buffalo bullpen, which is a little bit dicey. As he pitches a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Tatsumi. So 1 ball ahead, 1 strike. Our friend Gracie says she couldn't imagine having sports cards for NFL cheerleaders. Well, ironically, I got a story on that one. Keep you entertained, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 2-1. When I was probably about maybe 10 or 11 years old, there was a sports bar that was opening up in Toronto. And I was with my parents. We were staying at a hotel where the sports bar was being opened up, as there's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count's 2-2. Anyways, the building manager, or the manager of the bar, as they hadn't quite opened it up, they were decorating it with all kinds of stuff. As there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Tatsumi. And they said, well, maybe they got a Hank Aaron ball down there they thought was signed, and they were going to maybe get it to me, but they couldn't find the Aaron ball. Anyways, they ended up giving me these. There's a fastball ticket for a called third strike. Tatsumi stood there like the house by the side of the road. He's in the books for the first out. It's going to bring up Asamura to the plate, who is 2 for 2 tonight. So anyways, I got these oversized baseball cards. They were like the 8x10 photos almost, but they're not that big. Maybe a little bit. Maybe they were 5x8, I guess. As there was a slow breaking ball to Asamura that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. But with it, there were Dallas Cowboy cheerleader cards, and they were these same sort of size, and they would have been from 1980, 81. As Asamura lashes a single into left center field, that's going to get down for a base hit. And he is aboard with his third hit of the evening. So Asamura swinging the hot stick here tonight, and that'll bring up the DH Yuma Yasuda. Anyways, it was a kind of an interesting piece, and I still have them somewhere here. They're buried in with a bunch of other stuff that I don't care, but eventually somebody's going to want those things, and Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, they would sell. So yeah, I guess that's the piece. Dallas Cowboy cheerleader football cards, but they were like postcards. So here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball to Yasuda that swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yasuda tonight has grounded into a double play and grounded to second. He has 2 trips to the plate. As soon as a fastball swung on, it is grounded over to short. And check that, actually lined to short. I thought it was taken on one hop. I tried to throw back to first, and diving back safely was Asamura. But that is going to retire Yasuda. We'll get a look at that one again. I was pretty sure that ball took a short hop. Nope, not close, because Must have been me not paying attention as close as I should have. That's going to retire Yasuda for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Yukiya Ito. Gracie Lynn looking to find American cheerleader cards on Amazon. There's a breaking ball swung on, hit into center field. Asamura looking to go first to third. The throw's not going to be there in time. As he slides in safely, it's a base hit here for Ito. When that brings Daichi Suzuki to the plate, and Suzuki needs to see if he can drill one into the seats. If he can do that, it cuts the lead here, but the Eagles continue to swing the bat, but they just can't seem to push anything across yet. So base hit there by Ito. Gracie Lynn seeing if it does exist. There's one way you could probably answer that, Gracie Lynn, and that would be to go to trading card database, because sometimes they offer that. It looks like once upon a time there were cheerleader cards. Looks like the Kansas City Chiefs, the New Orleans Saints, maybe even the Minnesota Vikings once upon a time. There's a fastball that comes inside, and as it hits Suzuki, and that is going to load the bases. So the Eagles have got something brewing here with two gone. Samura, the runner at third. Ito goes to second. Suzuki gets drilled by the pitch. It's going to bring Hiroto Kobakata to the plate, as the trainer is out to check on Suzuki as he's doubled over as he's taking off his equipment. He's going to make his way down to first base. It looked like it got him on the right tricep. Well, that could leave a mark. I know certainly a number of years ago I had a teammate who took one in the back of the tricep and it looked like he had a ball growing out of the tricep. Well, that brings Kobakata to the plate. He has 1 for 2 tonight, and he takes a first pitch down and away. Count is 1-0. Bases full of Eagles here in the last half of the 6th inning. They find themselves down in an 8-0 deficit. So you are about to witness either the greatest comeback in NPB history, as there's a fastball swung on it, is lined into right field and started in, and then he had to go back on it, was Chano, and he's going to make the catch. And that's going to retire Kobakata for the third out of the inning. He hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the glove of the right fielder Chano, and that will do it here in the 6th. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They had 2 hits. There were no errors and 3 runners left aboard. That is now 8 runners tonight left on base by the Golden Eagles. We are now moving to the top half of the 7th inning, 8-0 for the Buffaloes. It kind of says it all right there. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a few. Our friend Alex says he wants to see the Eagles get exactly 1 run. Well, I'm not sure that's going to happen here quite tonight. We'll be right back after this with all the action. Our friend Gracie Lynn says that Amazon doesn't have them, but eBay does. Be sure to check out eBay when you get a chance, because they're all over at that particular point. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in. Well, the night is weird. Let's keep it weirder. Here's our friend Steve again.
Steve here from outside his refrigerator that a lot of you like so much. So let's go inside. There's my hot sauces and other stuff. Let's see what we can do here for Freddie. Awesome game, Freddie. Keep up the good work. We love the baseball. So why don't we rip open Garbage Pail Kids just for you and the listeners. Large Marge, she belongs in the fridge. Liberty Libby, well, she belongs down here on the beer. Apple Corey, hey, he's pretty cool. Put him on that beer up here. And Target Margaret. All Series 3 Chrome Garbage Pail Kids. Freddie, back to you in the game, and everybody else, please enjoy everything he does and tip him nicely.
Welcome back, everybody. Koji Oshiro leads it off with a base hit single into center field. And the beat continues to roll on for the Buffaloes as he is aboard with a leadoff single here in the seventh. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Haruto Watanabe. So just looking at the stats as we move along here, and as we said, it's still Surasaki on the mound. He has come in relief as he is now going to begin his second full inning of work. He has worked himself here an inning and 2/3 already as there's a breaking ball that misses outside and the count is 1-0. Friend Gracie Lynn said in 1999 happened against the Buffaloes. The Marines came back from a 11-0 deficit to win 15-11. Oh boy, that could be ugly. Explain that to your fan base. Fastball swung on. This is ripped into right field. And moving over and making the catch is Ogo. That had double written all over it as it was headed into the corner, but not so fast, says the right fielder Ogo, as he comes up with the catch to retire Watanabe for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, for Wakatsuki, as he strides to the plate, he is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and an RBI. That's the one thing you don't see in North America. It's an 8-0 lead. We're going to the seventh inning, and Miyagi is still throwing. He's up in front of the dugout getting himself loose. Fastball swung on. This is lifted over into foul territory. Giving chase is Suzuki, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Wakatsuki. This game here, after last night's game was fairly entertaining, a 5-2 affair. I was pretty excited. Interesting stuff here. As the right-hander delivers a breaking ball, it's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2 on Wakatsuki. Thought for sure that we would have another entertaining one here tonight, and that has not been the case. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. As it's on its way, it is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Wakatsuki for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Takamasu Chano. Well, for Takamasu Chano, he is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a pair of doubles. He's got a ground out and a sacrifice fly. And the way the runs have been scored tonight, we may skip the recap, especially if the Eagles can't get back into this thing. So here comes the first offering to Chano as the right-hander holds set. Now delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-0. There is scoring in that game between the Marines and the Lions. It is 1-0 in the top of the sixth, as the Marines have got themselves a 1-0 lead. Hawks and the Fighters, 4-2 for the Hawks. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. Carp and the Dragons, 2-2 in the bottom of the fifth inning. As the Bay Stars and the Tigers. The Bay Stars, if I'm not mistaken, they cannot catch the Tigers. They go off at the cushion here tonight, but it is meaningful for the Bay Stars, not so much for the Tigers now. As they'll be hosting the first round of the playoffs eventually, as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-1. Gracie says the sad part is the Eagles had golden chances in the 5th and the 6th to get on the board to make it interesting, and they failed to do it. Yeah, absolutely. And even in the first inning, they had runners on the corners and couldn't cash in there either. There's a fastball swung on, grounded softly to second. Kobakata fields that he throws to first, and Chano is retired on a ground out 4-3. And is going to do it here. Well, the Eagles are coming to bat down by 8 here in the bottom of the 7th. Better get something going, or it is going to be sayonara, so to speak. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard for the Buffaloes. We are now moving to the bottom half of inning number 7. It looks like Miyagi's coming back out again. Stick around with us, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. No puns lifting Steve Rademacher. We're going to leave that one off the board, and we'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, no, we picked up on Steve's pun at the beginning of his video. It is his way of letting everybody know that Yakult doesn't just make yogurt. They are also in the business of birds that do gulp. It is going to be Tsuyoshi Ishihara slated to come to bat, but instead we're going to have a pinch hitter as the Eagles are going to the bench. It is going to be number 4, Toshiki Abe, who comes to the plate, as he will pinch hit here for Ishihara. As the first pitch is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That was the 100th pitch of the ball game for the left-hander Miyagi. He probably has a clause in his contract that if he throws a shutout, as there's a breaking ball that misses and the count is 1-1, he probably gets an added bonus, unlike our friend Rowdy Tellez. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Only thing Steve missed on that is a drink from 7-Eleven. We can keep the puns rolling here for that. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can't believe we got a month and change left in the season. Really, it's going to be, I think, November the 3rd is when the NPB could wrap up potentially. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. Gracie's chuckling away now. There you go. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to the batter Abe as the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball that swung, this check swing fouled. The count remains at 2-2. Yeah, you just have to look for those subtle hints now and again. Just keeps everything interesting. As the 2-2 is on the way, and it is a breaking ball. Waved that and missed. And Abe is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and it'll bring up the top of the order in Yuya Ogo. And as we say this, we should probably look to see if we can get Del Monte Pineapples as a sponsor of this video as well. as we keep the puns moving along. Here comes the top of the order in Ogo. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out, grounded out, and flown out. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As Miyagi continues to work away, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up over on the left side. Camping out underneath it is the third baseman. And that looks like it is Osato who is into the ball game, and he is going to make the catch. That is going to retire Ogo for the second out of the inning. Have to see where Osato fits in, if he just came straight in for Nishino, if there was a double switch. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Itsuki Muribayashi. Muribayashi 1 for 2 tonight. He's also drawn a walk as he hits here from the right side. As Miyagi delivers, there's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Can't believe Miyagi, 109 pitches, 8-0 lead still in the game. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and now the count is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty delivers again. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now it goes to 1-2 on Muribayashi. Yeah, probably right. As Alex says, they don't want to offend him. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Well, his ERA on the season is 2.03 and now at this point. They're probably wanting to see if they can get it under the magic number of 2. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 2-2 to Muribayashi. I wonder if that's got something to do with it. I don't know what kind of incentives some of these guys have in the contract. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line. Count remains at 2-2. But how about that, ending the season with an ERA of below 2? That would be pretty impressive for the lefty. Despite the fact he's only, won 5 games this year? Entered the fray tonight at 5-9. As there's a fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded neatly by Kobayashi. That's going to be a ground out 6-3, and that'll do it here as they go quietly, finally do the Eagles again. They go 1-2-3. Our friend Alex says he's tapping out for the night. Appreciate you for jumping in, Alex. We look forward to seeing you in the playoffs, but maybe next weekend if the Eagles and the Marines were this week are still at it, we'll try to call a couple of those games as well. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, speaking of pineapples, there's nothing like the fresh pineapples of Costa Rica. They are the best. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to the 8th inning. It'll be Tatsumi, Masamura, and Yasuda. Friend Gracie says people on the replay are going to watch confused. Yeah, especially if the chat doesn't replay with them. Sometimes if I have to go in and do an edit, it takes the chat away. Well, we do have a pitching change for the Golden Eagles as they are going to a left-hander, as it is going to be the American coming into the ball game. This is number 20. This is Nick Turley taking over. Turley making his 17th appearance. He's got himself a 3.14 ERA. Be facing, coming to bat here for the Buffaloes. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order. As the first pitch on the way to Osato, who is getting his first at bat of the evening, takes that pitch outside for ball 1. He is hitting in the spot of Nishino, as there's a fastball that is at 94 miles an hour, swung on and missed. Count goes even to 1-1. Turley pouring it in as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. He is not wasting time. Here comes the 1-2. As the pitch is on the way, and it is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Osato. Speaking of Costa Rica and pineapple, the two things that I really enjoyed the most was the pineapple and three things. The Gallo Pinto, the pineapple, and the coffee. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. I'm basically a 1 cup coffee a day. I used to drink a lot of coffee years ago, and I just said, nope, that's it. We're cutting it out. I'm a tea drinker. I drink more tea than I do coffee, but even tea I don't drink every day. In the wintertime, as we start to get into this time of the season, it'll probably be 3, 4, and 5 cups. Right now, it's really not much of anything. As there is a fastball swung on, it is grounded through the 6th hole underneath the glove. That ball had eyes. I would think that Osato's going to get a single for that one. It looked like he cued it off the end of the bat. He's got himself a single. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. It got under the glove of Muribayashi, but you know what? I don't know if Muribayashi makes that play or not, even if he has a shot at first base. I'll have to see what the scorer says on that one, but I'm pretty confident that's going to be a base hit. That brings Oda to the plate. Oda is 2 for 4 in this one, as the first pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Oda's got a single and a double to his name. He scored a run. Also grounded out and flown out. As the lefty Turley holds set, he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded to the shortstop, Muribayashi. They go to second for 1, back to first. There's a double play. That is of the 6-4-3 variety. As Osato is gone for the first out, and Oda on the back end. That'll bring up Tomoya Mori to the plate. Our friend Gracie Lynn said that she drinks the coffee in the Heredia region. Actually, the one thing that I really enjoy about the Costa Rican coffee, there's Cafe Brit and Cafe Ray. Maybe what I should do is I should wire you some money, Gracie Lynn, or send you through PayPal or whatever. The coffee that I enjoyed wasn't Cafe Brit, it was Cafe Ray, and it was the light ground beans or the light beans. Absolutely loved it. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Cafe Brit, not so much, as it's Yataro Sugimoto who has come in to pinch hit for Mori. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses up, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Sugimoto. Gracie Len says she's got to bounce because it's 1:45, needs some sleep so she can watch her NFL football. We can appreciate that. As that fastball is taken for a called strike, it's now 2-1 to Sugimoto. As the lefty Turley delivers again, a fastball taken for a called strike, it's now 2-2. But once again, we always appreciate Gracie popping into the chat. We're glad you can make it in. Playoff time is getting closer, so hopefully you can join us for some of those. As that fastball misses down, it's now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Turley kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled back, and the count remains at 3-2. She says, hopefully somebody pops up so we're not talking to herself. That's the way it goes. That's what happens sometimes, especially get into this part of the game. I appreciate you for doing that. We're going to have some of our slow motion videos coming up from our Japanese stuff. Launch a couple more of those in the next couple of days. So be sure to tune in for some of that. Have a great night, Gracie. We look forward to seeing you again in the not so distant future. As the 3-2 pitch is on the way. And Turley steps off the backside of the rubber, and he's going to reset and do this again. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base line. And the count remains full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to the right-handed hitting Sugimoto. Turley rocking into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Sugimoto's in the books, and it's a unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 8, the Eagles no score. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Appreciate you guys for checking in here tonight. June's son in here. As we're going to break, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Maybe we'll answer your question when we come back, June. Appreciate you for popping in here with us tonight. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It'll be Tatsumi Asamura and Yasuda slated to come to bat, and we're waiting to see if Hiroya Miyagi will come back out for a 8th inning of work. Our friend June's son pops in here and wants to know, how do I watch these games? I think the big question is, June, where are you from? Because depending where you're at, it is a little bit different for everybody. We may be able to direct you into some space to be able to do it. We do have a right-hander coming into the ball game. This is going to be number 58, the Kazumoto Iguchi, making his 32nd appearance for the Buffaloes this year. So Hiroya Miyagi's night is done as he went 7 strong shutout innings. So Kazumoto Iguchi on to face the left-handed hitting Tatsumi, who is 0 for 3 in this one tonight. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting center fielder of the Eagles. June says they're in New Orleans. Well, there's a few different ways, dear June, as we will enlighten you here as we move along. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As Iguchi delivers a breaking ball that misses outside, the count is 1-1. First of all, you got to be able to use Google. There'd be live QQ as something you could type in. But you got to be able to navigate around in some Chinese to have to get it. as there's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now is 1-2 strikes to Tatsumi. Other options could be, if you have a VPN, there's Amazon Prime Japan. There's also Yahoo in Japan. You'd have to be able to access those through your VPN, as there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count remains a 1-2. So those are a couple of options. We got some folks in here. There's been some gambling sites as well where you have to become members and you could watch and follow at the same time. I'll say Betway was one of them. That was last year. Some of the people that are in here will know that. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. There was a couple of folks in here in the game last night, and they were talking about, as well as there's a couple of apps. I'm not familiar with the apps. They were talking about it in the chat where you could download it. So you have to go back and look through the chat logs of last night's game that we called, as there's a fastball swung on and missed. Tatsumi in the books for the first out of the inning. That's the third time tonight he's been down on strikes. So that gives you sort of a little bit of an idea. And that will bring up the third baseman, Hideto Asamura. Asamura has enjoyed himself a nice ball game tonight. He's 3 for 3. All of the at-bats he's had singles. He's raised his season average to 256. The first pitch is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1-0 strikes. Right-hander again working to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul. It's into the seats down the right field line. So 1-1 strike it is. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. Gucci delivers a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line, but Chano's going to watch it drift into the seats, and the count remains at 1-2 strikes here to Asamura. So right-hander Gucci ready to go again. Holds himself at the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the right field line. The battle continues here with Asamura, as it is still 1-2. So the right-hander holds himself to the set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and Asamura's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning, both via the strikeout, and that is going to leave it all up to the DH, Yuma Yasuda. Well, for Yasuda, he's 0 for 3 tonight. He is grounded out. He's grounded into a double play, and he is lined to the shortstop. So he will come to the dish here, ready to face the right-hander Iguchi. And the first pitch is a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. Yasuda screwed himself into the ground. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander holds the ball at the set position. Here we go again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1-1 strike it is. Again, the right-hander holding set. And here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, popped up over on the third base side. Giving chase is the third baseman, Osato, but he's going to watch that one go into the seats, and the count now is 1-2 to Yasuda. June says, appreciate it. Betting is the reason he's watching in the live. Yeah, most of the people have cleared out tonight because of the scoreline here, June. We appreciate you for hanging around here. Hopefully, some other information as well too. Sometimes some of the folks come in and do it. We were talking tonight about how it is a bit of a delay between the game feed and the view as well, as that pitch was swung on and fouled away. When I was at the game in Chiba, or about just over 4 weeks ago, in Chiba, when you pull up the game on your phone, there's a good solid 15 to 20-second delay in between what you see on the field and what's going on in the game. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Suda waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Iguchi, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses up, and the count's 2-2. We were saying tonight just how this game had started off. It was just the Eagles had their chances, couldn't cash in. Even the Buffaloes had their chances, couldn't cash in, but it was the damage in the 4th and the 5th inning. Buffalo scored 3 in the 4th and 5 in the 5th. Blow this game apart. There's a breaking ball swung on, lifted into deep right center field. Giving chase is the center fielder, Watanabe, and he makes the catch. Yasuda's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is Buffalo's 8 and the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. The only thing left here is the crying for the Eagles, but we're glad you guys are with us so you can hang in for the rest of the evening. We'll be right back after this from our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a pitching change for the Golden Eagles. We'll get that back for you here when we return in 30. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. The Eagles are turning to their 4th pitcher of the evening. It'll be Satoshi Miyamori coming on in relief. And he is going to be slated to face Katara Kobayashi, Ryoma Nishikawa, and Koji Oshiro. That would be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Buffalo batting order. So Miyamori has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action. As the right-hander takes to the hill. Kobayashi tonight, officially 0 for 3. He's grounded into a double play, lined out, and bounced into a fielder's choice. He also had a sacrifice fly that drove in a run, and there's a fastball swung on. With 1 pitch, there's 1 away as he loops it to the right fielder. Ogo makes the easy catch. 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. So for Nishikawa, as he strides to the plate, he is 2 for 4 in this one. He's got himself a single, a double. He scored a pair of runs. He's also grounded out twice. Nope. Looks like Nishikawa's night might be over. Looks like we got ourselves a pinch hitter here. So coming to bat here is going to be Taishi Haruka. The first pitch to Haruka is a fastball that misses outside. So Nishikawa's night finished. As Haruka into the ball game. And the pitch on the way, the 1-0. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Haruka. Right-hander against the right-hander. Miyamori holds to the set. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Do thank everybody who did make it into the stream earlier on tonight. We had a decent crowd brewing, and then the Buffaloes showed up and spoiled the party. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander gets his sign from his catcher, and he works himself to the set position. Here comes the 1-2. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander again working himself to the belt. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Miyamori. He kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball down. It squirts away from the catcher this time. As it is 3 balls and 2 strikes. I didn't get to see who they have made the change to behind the plate. With Yasuda as the DH. It looks like it is Oda who has come in behind the plate, Ryo Oda. As Ishihara's night had finished. Fastball swung on it is going to be pop foul into the seats behind home plate. Count remains at 3-2. So slated the up at bat for the Eagles in their half of the ninth. It'll be Ito, Suzuki, and Kobakata. As the right-hander holds set, here comes the pitch. Fastball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, Haruka, not sure what you were looking at, but that was, got the outside corner. Mori has retired you for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Koji Oshiro. This has been a tough spot in the batting order for the Eagles tonight. The starter was Leandro Cedeno. He was 3 for 3 with an RBI. They didn't miss a beat when Oshiro came up his last time. He had a base hit single. The first pitch fastball misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. Looks like there's going to be room and space, and making an over-the-shoulder catch is Daichi Suzuki. And that is going to do it as the Buffaloes go quietly in their half of the ninth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Bottom of ninth is around the corner, and 2 things are about to happen. The Eagles are about to make the greatest comeback in NPB history. The Buffaloes are going to close it off with a victory here tonight. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is Ren Mukanoki who is taking over here in the last half of the ninth inning as the Golden Eagles are down by 8. And there is another catcher is behind the plate. It'll be Sho Fukunaga who is going to take over here. So a new battery here. It is Haruka who has made his way into left field. I don't know if we've got any other changes to report. That looks like that is going to be it here for this one tonight. So coming to bat or slated to come to bat, it's supposed to be Ito, Suzuki, and Kobakata. So we'll have to see if that is indeed who will come to hit or if there's going to be some changes. So Ito will lead it off. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. 7 hits for the Golden Eagles tonight in this one. It's been 8 runs, 17 hits, no errors for the Buffalo, 0-7-0 for the Eagles. As the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded softly up the middle. Fielded by the second baseman, Oshiro. He throws to first. With 1 pitch, we have 1 away. That's a ground out, 4-3. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. June says, have a good one. Well, we appreciate you, June, for hanging in here tonight. Popping in. You have yourself a good one as well. As maybe we'll see you in the future. So that is going to bring Daichi Suzuki to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single in 2 trips. As the right-hander rocks himself into the windup as he kicks and delivers. Fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. I'm not so sure about that one, but the 8-0 scoreline, it's time to put the pedal to the metal. 0-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander, again, ready to go again, but Suzuki asks for time as he feels that he's being hurried a little too quickly. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field, giving chase. Diving and unable to come up with it is the right fielder Chano. The ball is going to roll all the way to the wall. Suzuki rounding second. He's heading to third. And that is going to be a triple for the Golden Eagles. First baseman, the crowd is giving a heck of a cheer. Suzuki is on third. I think they're going to rule that. Has to be a triple. A lot of big divot up there in right field. So that ball ends up getting down. We'll just take a look at that again. Almost a collision between the 2 outfielders. Boy, you don't want that to happen. You want usually the corner outfielder is going to take some sort of inside route. You would think to the ball an outside route for the center fielder, but they were right on a direct line. That is going to go as a triple for Suzuki. That's his second hit of the night. Our friend Alex, who was in the stream earlier on here tonight, as that fastball swung on and fouled away, he said he'd like to see the Eagles get a run. He'd be disappointed if they didn't get any. But if they got 2, I forget what he said, he'd be maybe disappointed as well. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. Kobakata lifts it into deep right field, giving chase his Chano. He makes the catch as he leaps onto the warning track, and there's your 1 point for the Eagles. That's going to be a sacrifice fly to 9. It's going to get the first run of the game in across for the Golden Eagles as that cuts the lead to 8-1. As Kobakata is gone for the second out, and that will leave it all up. There goes your shutout, Orix. That is going to leave it all up to the catcher, Oda. So this will be Oda slated to come to bat for his first at bat tonight. Although I don't know if that is Oda hitting here or not. We'll have to double check. It is the catcher, and his first at bat, he swings and misses. Count is quickly 0-1. Oda came in to replace Ishihara after he was pinch hit for by Abe back in the 7th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into left field, moving over, and making the catch is the left fielder Haruka, and that is going to do it. But they get a consolation run in the bottom of the ninth. Do the Eagles? They got one run on the benefit of one hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score, it is the Buffaloes 8 and the Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. Well, or whoever's left. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we're going to wrap this one up in a nutshell. It was 3 runs in the 4th and 5 in the 5th, and the Buffaloes did all their damage. Go on to a 8-0 victory in this one. It is all Buffaloes all night tonight. Give you a quick little update on the scoring from around the NPB, and then we're going to pack it in here ourselves. Start off in the Central League, top of the 7th inning. The Carp and the Dragons locked at 2s. Games at the Cochin Stadium between the Bay Stars and Tigers, and at the Jingu between the Giants and Swallows. They don't go off until 1800-hour Japan time. 1-0 for the Marines at the top of the 8th inning over the Lions, as they are holding on to the advantage. They could extend their lead in the playoffs to 3 games if they hold on to win that one. And it is the Hawks with a 6-2 lead over the Fighters. That game is in the bottom of the 9th inning, and one would have to think that is all but in the books. All right, everybody, we appreciate you guys for listening in tonight. We hope you guys have a great night. We will catch you again later. This has been a Last Raps Baseball video production. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you again on the flip side. Have a great night, everybody.